Welcome to Tech Brothers with Amir. Today we are going to learn how to create SSRS report with the tabs. So there are plenty of things we will be doing in this demo. We will create empty report, we will create a report header, we will use some rectangles, we will use some bookmarks, and then we will use some text boxes so to show kind of those tabs. You can use the image as well. Now let's go ahead and take a look on our data that we are going to use. So here is our data that is coming from total sale table. So let's copy this query, and if we execute this query, this is going to return us some records, and I will be using let me go to the database because we are in the wrong database. This table is in the sales database, and we will be creating tabs for the country. I will be creating a tab for USA, Pakistan, India, and you can use or create the tabs for other countries as well. So depending upon your requirement, what type of tabs you would like to create. So let's go ahead and create the report. Now come to the SSDT SQL Server Data Tools, and we have already created the SSRS project. You need a shared data source, otherwise you have to create embedded data source in the report. If you are creating multiple reports from the same database, I recommend using a shared data source. So for SQL Server, we have to provide a SQL Server name and a database name when we create a shared data source. Now go to the reports, right click, add, and a new item. Here you will be selecting a report, so we'll be creating empty report. Let's provide that name. We call this one tab report. Hit add. Now empty report will be created, and we will be clicking on data sources, right click, add data source, and here we will be using a shared data source. Let's call this one DS sales, and we use a shared data source. Click OK. Next we will be creating data sets. What I want to do in this report, I want to create multiple data sets. So I will be creating a data set for each of the country. So it will be returning me the records for specific country. I can use parameters and all those kind of things, but here I would like to just keep the thing simple. So let's create 2 or 3 data sets, each for one country. So let me call this one D set. Let's call this one Pakistan. So we will have only data for Pakistan here, and we are going to paste our query, and where we'll say country is equal to Pakistan. And next we are going to copy this query, and we will have for other countries as well. Let's create the next data set and call this one for India, and call DS India, sorry, DSet India. So this is going to return us only records for country India. And next we will have another data set, we'll call that one USA. So DSet USA. It is going to be embedded. Paste the query and change the country name to the USA. Now we are all good. We have 3 data sets. The very first thing what I would like to do, I would like to create the report title. So I'm gonna insert, right click here, and then add page header. Why would we are adding page header? Because we would like to show that title on each of the page. So let's say if we have page break and all those kind of thing, and our report go to the next page, we would like to see the same title. So right click here and then insert, and text, bring the text box, and we call this one sale report by country. Now let's go ahead and make it bold, give some background color, so that way our report look nice. You can put all those kind of fancy things here, maybe date and other information, whatever you like to have. Now next part is adding those tabs. So you can use images. If you have image for the button, let's say unpressed button and press button images, you can use those images and add that. And in my case, what I would like to do, I'm gonna use text boxes and color them in a way so they look like kind of button. I'm not really expert in creating buttons, so maybe you can do better job, but I will show you little how to do that. First of all, go ahead and insert a rectangle. So now once we have the rectangle, in that rectangle we are creating those buttons. So let's make this one small, and right click inside the rectangle and insert and text box. So we can copy paste here. So let's say if I hit Control C and Control V, it is going to bring me another, and then I have to do Control V one more time. So it is bringing me another text box. So once you click an item, you can just copy and paste. And let's move this one close. So if we move them very close with each other, so they look like tabs to us. So now what we want to do here, let me see what happened with this one. We don't need 4, we have only 3 countries here, but if you want to have another country, you can go ahead and do it. Now it's your choice. If you would like to give some background color to this rectangle, maybe that would be a nice idea, and that's how we will kind of make a border for our buttons or background for our buttons. Let's give them some maybe green, or I don't know, yellow. Decide whatever you like, doesn't matter. So now this text box can be also colored. So what we want to do here, I want to write few things. I want to write Pakistan, and then I would like to have India, and then I'm going to have USA. So let's make them in center, and this one as well center, and USA in center as well. Now let's make them bold as well. Sorry, here bold, and now this is also bold. Next part, let's change the background color for these text boxes, text box properties, and even we don't go to text box properties. When we click the text box and click here, let's see if we can change the color here. I would like to have dark gray. So those are kind of buttons. So see, this looks fine, and the same way I would like to have a dark gray for this one and some dark gray for this one. So I'm trying to create some buttons here, and what I want to do, let's bring them close with each other so they look like this is more work on the design part instead of work on your end, like okay, how to create that tabs. You know, if you have images, that will work actually better. You can just import those images in the report and then you use them. So in my case, I don't want to use the images, and that's why I'm using these. So let's say if we click on Pakistan, now there should be, I'm gonna go ahead and use the text box properties and make it feel like we have clicked on the image. So if I will put something on the we have a border down here, that will give us a kind of look like okay, this button is pressed. So this way we will see okay, this is pressed, right? And next I'm gonna go ahead and insert a table where I will have the data for Pakistan. So now I'm gonna bring some information such as the first name, last name, product name, and then maybe country here to so we can see if we are getting the correct results. So now you go ahead and give some space to your column or field widths and make a nice report. So let's make it bold and give some background color, maybe go green, and then and what else you want with the fonts, maybe you want different color, so you can go ahead and select the color you like. I would like to go with the white actually, so that will be more reasonable. So this is good. Now our report is pretty much ready. Now we have to do a few things. We will be cutting and pasting. The Pakistan came down, we have to put it back. So this is kind of the work you do with these things. As I told you with the design part, this is going to be a little tedious. Okay, now we have more space here, and see if the columns are coming correct. Sorry, buttons are coming correct. We have to move this one little up or down. Let's make this one down. Okay, let's keep it this way. Here I want to move this one. When I move with the shift, with the control and then arrows, you can actually control them better. So if I want to have control and left arrow, I can move them the way I want it. So you can maybe try that one as well, and instead of just moving them, now I can move them better. And the same thing if I would like to do for this. I'm good here. Let's preview that. And now they are coming kind of correct, and see Pakistan has the border that tells us this is button pressed. And I have get the data from USA dataset, that's why it is showing USA. We're going to go ahead and change that. So let me go ahead and change this one. We need actually this one, we can use that for another for US country. So let me actually put a new table. I know this video is gonna be a little long, and I'm gonna do my best to make it short as much possible. I don't want to take 2 hours for this one. So let's say country is Pakistan here. Now we are good here. Now we get the data from Pakistan data set. Now it should be just fine. Let's change the background color real quick, so we'll see this is coming from Pakistan. Okay, now next part is now when we click Pakistan, it is shown as Pakistan. Then we want to have the same thing for India, so we have to kind of repeat this entire button thing over and bring a new table. So let's make some space here. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this thing and go copy the entire thing and paste it here. So you paste it here. Sorry, it did not actually select entire things. So let's say control and then you hit everything, copy. Now paste it here. Now we have entire rectangle with the buttons. So in this case, let's think about that. Now we don't want to press Pakistan. Now we want to press India. So we want to show that okay, India is pressed. So let's go ahead and take the table TextBox properties, remove the border for Pakistan. So we don't need the border. And let me see what we have done here. So if we go ahead and take the properties of Pakistan and we say no border, none, and that will do the trick. And for India, now let's go back and go to the TextBox properties and border, and let's put the border on the down and right side. That will make this button like look like a okay, India is pressed now. So if we preview now, what we see Pakistan is pressed here, and then here we see okay, India is pressed. The same way we have to do the for USA. Now first let's put the table for India. So insert a table and get the information whatever you need. Let's say for India, get the data for Indian data set. So we need the salesperson first name, we need sold items, we need some date, and we need some country name. So we are all good here. See, the columns are different in the first table and second table, so they don't have to be the same. You can have different information, maybe you have chart and all that, so it doesn't have to be exact same. So let's give this one maybe blue, and make the font size white, and now looks good. We have in Pakistan pressed, we have India pressed here, and the last thing we would like to have the United States pressed. So and the rest of the button should be fine. Now let me take this again, this part. So I'm gonna copy the entire thing. If you copy, click here, Control C and Control V, paste it here. Now we are good. We need to remove this border for India, so it looked like okay, it is not pressed anymore. So border, remove the border for India, looks good. Now USA is the last one that is we are working on. We are getting close to the actual work. So now this looks good. Let's put another table here. Sorry, we can use a tab matrix if we would like, but let's keep this one as a table. Insert table and get the columns what we like for USA. Maybe okay, we want to have a salesperson last name, we would like to have a price, and we would like to have just the country name. So we are not looking for a lot of columns here for USA, and we are all good. Let's change the color. Sorry, I wanted to change the color make it bold, change the color and give this color, let's say take more colors, and let's give this color, okay, khaki, hit okay, and now we are good. I'm very bad with the colors, and I don't know, that's fine, but at least you guys know that okay, we are able to see the report in different colors. And now you see here Pakistan is pressed, here India is pressed, now here USA is pressed. What we want to do, we want to show one set of buttons, and then when we click the next one, we should go to the show this part of that, and then we click the USA, we should see this one. So that's what one more thing, I did make a mistake on the last data set. I took the data from India region, so I should be taken from the USA region. So let me take these columns. So doesn't matter which columns we take, but the important is like the logic is working, and at least we are able to make some sense. So let me make this one. Okay, fine. Now we are all good. Looks much better. Let's make this close. Okay, so now if we go and preview the report, everything is coming in one page. What we would like to make use of these buttons, and when somebody press on Pakistan, he should see only this part. So Pakistan with this information, such as the first salesperson, first name, last name, and country, and then when they click on India, they should be seeing this part. So we see the blue header, and then the name and price sold and date and the country. And when they click on the USA, they should see this information. So that's how we want to design now. Now, very first thing what we would like to do, we would like to have a page breaker. So let's put the page breaker. Click on the rectangle here, and let's have a page break. We have a rectangle properties, and we say add a page break before. So we are done with this one, and also do the page break for this one. So for each of the rectangle, we are adding a page break. Now let's go ahead and preview that. So see, okay, on the first page we see Pakistan is coming, and next page we see okay, India is coming, and this button is kind of clicked, and next button we see that USA is coming. But we don't want to do like okay, let's go to first page, second page, and all that. We want to use these buttons and clicks. So that's all we would like to do. What we need to do, we need to use the bookmarks here. Go to design, let's rename give the bookmark names to each of the rectangle. So click on the very first rectangle, and go to rectangle, once you click here, go to the F4, and then in the F4 you will find a bookmark. So let's find a bookmark here, and it is kind of here. Okay, so we see under the other, and I'm going to name this rectangle, call this Pakistan data, or we can simply call Pakistan. Okay, now by using these values, we can navigate among different items of this report. So that's what we are going to do. And here for India, see the India button is pressed kind of thing. So we are going to click on the rectangle, press F4, and go to the properties, and here see under the other we have a bookmark. I'm going to call this rectangle India. So we'll call this bookmark as India, and the last one I'm going to click on the rectangle, press F4, and go to the bookmark and say USA. Now we have given the bookmark names or values to these rectangles. The next part will be using those values. So let's say if we are clicking on Pakistan, that's the very first thing we will see, and then we should be just on the first page with this value. Now if somebody click on India, they should be going to the India, right? So click on India, and then go to TextBox properties, and here we'll say an action and go to the bookmark, and we'll say India here. So when somebody click on the India, they will come right to the Indian section where we have the button press and the data for India. So hit OK. Next, if somebody press the USA button, so we go to the USA. So we go to the action and bookmark and say USA. So this will take us to the USA rectangle, and that has the data under that. And now let's do the same thing for Pakistan. even we don't need to undo on this very first one, but you can go ahead and do it, and we say Pakistan. The next part, the same thing what we have to do it here. If somebody click here on the text box on the second, and then we have to say Pakistan, go to Pakistan, so that it will take to the very first rectangle, and that's where we have button pressed for Pakistan. On India, if somebody will do, let's even we don't need that, it is already pressed, and we will still give it the option like, okay, if you want to click and refresh it, it will be here. And if you have USA, go to the USA properties action and bookmark, say USA. Now, and the last one is left now, so if here we have Pakistan, now we go to action and say Pakistan, bookmark, and then here India, we are saying if somebody press India from the last button set, go to the India rectangle, and then here we will say go to the USA. Okay, we are all good here. Now on the buttons we have used those bookmarks, so we can navigate among the report items. So let's preview the report. Now see the very first page, as we have done the page break on the rectangles, it is showing us this only the first set of buttons, and then we have the data for Pakistan. If I click on Pakistan, it is keeping me at the same place. If I will hit India, it will take me to the other rectangle, but as the same buttons are used, and you would not see a major difference. So if you click on India, you see India is clicked here, and you see those data for India. If I click on USA, now I will see the data for USA. So if I will click on India back or Pakistan back, I will see that. One thing, if you have noticed that here, if I will click on India, there is a less space between the report title and the tablets. So this is kind of me who has done the poor designing part, and for USA it looks much better, and India does matter. And when you click on Pakistan, it gives a lot of difference between these buttons and here. So you can go to design and move them a little up, and that's how you can do better job. Let's move them a little up. Click here and then press control and move them up, and also you can align them. I accept my poor design because I'm not really good in designing, and you guys can maybe do much better job. So you have to kind of take these up, so give very less space between them, and make them the way you want, and the way you want to show. So let me take this quickly. Come on, here I have to select the entire thing, then move this one. So see, now I'm trying to keep the same space, but I'm still like not doing great job, I can tell right now. But you can do much better job than me, and that way nobody would know that okay, you are navigating to another page or you are on the same page, because buttons are going to be the same size, color, and everything. And once if the button will stick on the same place, nobody even notice that. The rest of the part will change, and for in Pakistan you see that, for India now you see that, for USA you can tell like okay, so our tabs are working fine, and we just have to kind of align it and see how we can make them kind of at same space from our title, and that way they will look the same. One more thing I would like to add, we can add the tooltip. So let's say on the Pakistan, when somebody click here, or somebody is on the India or USA, so you can go ahead and on the tooltip, let's say here, go to the text box properties, and in the tooltip you say click to see Pakistani data, I don't know, whatever you want to call, or detail for detail data for Pakistan, and here say click to see detail data for India, and that will also help. You can add those tooltips, and when somebody preview it, and if they hover the mouse here, they will see okay, click here to see the Pakistan data, and when they click on India, so if we have done, sorry, we were doing the tooltip on these ones. So second, and here, see, this is something like you have to do the tooltip on all of them. So now if you are here, so you see that click to see the Pakistani data, and if you are on India, click to see the detailed data for India. So you can add the tooltip to give more details, like what they are getting into, and that's how you will be creating a report with the tabs. Last thing I would like to say, you can use buttons here. They will have a click and unclick pictures, and that will actually make more sense, instead of using these text boxes and using the borders to show them, okay, these are clicked and this one is not clicked. Because this one, it is okay, it makes some sense. You can use it if you don't have the concept of using buttons and all, but sometimes you have fancy buttons and they make more sense, and when you use them, you can tell, like, okay, they are really clicked or not. Thanks very much for watching this video, and I will see you guys in next video.